Sweet dreams, little boy. Hoo, hoo, hoo!
Hello YouTube, hope everyone's keeping well out there. This is just a short video and kind of a two-part question for the community really, if any of you got the time to answer in the comments below, or by all means a VR would be great. But it's, how do you go about choosing the game you play, and what is your ratio, and how do you choose to play modern and retro games? Now, I'm not talking about the pick up and play games. I'm talking about the games that you have to sort of set aside a certain amount of time to play to see them through to completion. The pick up and plays, obviously I do that all the time, just a quick 10 minutes here to an hour here depending on the game, and I'm done. But I'm talking about those games, and I suppose the best way for me to explain this kind of question is to provide my answers. So what I tend to do is the meat and potatoes of my gaming tends to be one modern game and one retro game that I play at the same time and just sort of jump in between the two. But I try to keep those two games different in kind of genre or tone, just so there's a bit of variety there. And with the retro, I mean anything from the the Spectrum all the way through to the, say, the Wii. And then my current generation is still the Wii U and the PlayStation 4. I haven't got the PS5 yet, and I haven't got a Switch, and I'm not interested in the Switch. But that tends to be my sort of meat and potatoes of my gaming, just those two sort of channels. And then what I do is I'll see each game through to completion, put those back, and then say, for example, I'll play like quite a hard-hitting, serious first-person I don't know, exploration game on the PlayStation 4. I'll then try and switch it up and play something a bit more light-hearted, maybe a platformer or something like that, just to jump genres and keep things fresh. And that likewise with the retro games that I play. And the retro and the modern aren't just the two sort of pathways that I play with the games. I do also have a 3DS, and I play that at night before bed, and I've got one of those games going on at the same time as the modern and the retro. And also me and my wife tend to be playing a game together and going through it. So there's many different pathways and ways of playing the games, modern, retro, with the wife, and handheld, in bed, on this little screen, all nice and dark, nice and cozy in bed. And yeah, like I said, I just sort of jump around and intersplice the games between different genres and tones. If it's too serious and maybe a bit of a slog emotionally, let's say, or it's a very difficult game, I might sort of switch it up and play a very easy, light-hearted game, just to sort of mix things up. But I'd love to know and hear from you guys how you choose to play, or do you not choose anything like that? Do you just literally go into the gaming room and or your game collection and just pick one willy-nilly that you fancy there or then? And, I do that every now and again, but I do tend to think about what I want to play just as I'm coming to the end of the current game that I'm playing. What is it I fancy next, and I'll sort of imagine or think about 3 different games, say, that might be the one to play next. And then as I finish that current game, I'll get those 3 out, have a look at them, and just sort of calculate how I'm feeling and jump into one of those. So it's kind of literally a calculated decision-making process for me. Maybe that's a bit too clinical for people. Maybe other people are a bit more spontaneous. Sometimes I do choose and select the game that way. But we've got these huge, vast libraries, a lot of us gamers, collectors, and it'd be interesting to hear from you guys in terms of how you go about selecting your games. So yeah, so all that's left to say is everyone take care out there, stay safe. Merry Christmas to you and all your families, friends and loved ones. Best wishes, and I'll see you again after Christmas, but before the new year. Cheers, take care.
And the season's greetings to you too, little fellow. Ho, ho, ho!